A woman in the village was about to give birth to twins. However, an elderly woman stopped her and insisted that she wait until morning before delivering the babies. She explained that the children would possess the power to control demons, and their birth timing was crucial. After the twins were born, their father became extremely frightened. He realized that children had been born into his household who possessed the ability to separate day and night itself. The story then shifted to a scene set 16 years later. One of the twins, a boy named Yuru, was out hunting. While tracking his prey, he noticed two streaks of clouds in the sky, which strangely resembled the trail of a dragon. After finishing his hunt, Yuru returned to the village, where his friend Denji was waiting for him. Denji complained, asking why Yuru never took him along for hunting trips. He worried that if Yuru went alone into the mountains and something happened, he would not be able to call for help. Yuru reassured him, saying nothing would happen to him because the divine guardians, right and left, would always protect him. It was clear that Yuru was well known and respected in the village, as he was always helping others. When he arrived home, Denji's mother asked Yuru for help with some work, while Denji quietly slipped away. His mother scolded him, telling him to become as hardworking as Yuru. Yuru then asked about his twin sister Asha. The elderly woman informed him that Asha was, as always, fulfilling her duties. Yuru then went to meet her. When they met, Asha greeted him warmly. Yuru mentioned that he had caught a pheasant that day. Asha praised him, but Yuru humbly responded that he had actually hoped to catch a boar or a deer instead. He explained that there had not been much rainfall that year, which could lead to poor crop growth and food shortages during winter. Because of this, he wanted to hunt more so they could preserve meat. Asha asked if, in such a situation, the adults of the village would have to leave to find work elsewhere. Yuru admitted that it was possible. When she asked if he would leave too, he firmly said he never would. He explained that he had learned hunting precisely so he could become indispensable to the village and never have to leave. Asha then asked if that meant he would not abandon her like their parents had. Yuru reassured her that he would never leave her and would always stay by her side to protect her. This made Asha very happy. Soon after, Denji's mother informed Yuru that Dara had arrived. Dara was a trader from the outside world who brought goods for exchange. The villagers gathered around him, asking about the outside world. Dara explained that the outside economy was not doing well and that a pandemic was spreading. He requested herbs in exchange for his goods, and the villagers traded with him. When Yuru arrived, Dara asked what he wanted. As always, Yuru replied that he only wanted a souvenir for Asha. Dara gave him one, and in return, Yuru offered the pheasant feathers, which made Dara happy since he could sell them at a high price. After Dara left, Denji expressed his desire to go to the outside world someday, noting that no one who had left had ever returned, which made him believe the outside world must be amazing. However, Yuru showed no interest, as he only wanted to stay in the village. Denji suggested that Yuru should take Asha with them, so they could explore the outside world together without worrying about her. But Yuru refused, saying that Asha needed to stay because she had an important duty. He also remarked that if she spent time with someone like Denji, she might become spoiled. This angered Denji. He pointed out that he had never even met Asha. Yuru replied that she only met a select few people and that he would never allow someone like Denji to meet her. Their argument escalated, but Denji refused to fight him. Suddenly, they heard strange sounds. Yuru wondered if it was a dragon, mentioning that he had seen another beautiful dragon path in the sky. However, Denji noted that the sound was different this time. Yuru insisted he had heard similar sounds while hunting in the mountains. The noise grew louder, and they became confused about what was happening. At that moment, a person used their power to break the village's protective barrier, something Dara also sensed. What they had mistaken for a dragon turned out to be an airplane. Soon, two helicopters began circling the village, shocking everyone. Suddenly, soldiers began attacking the villagers, killing them as they advanced. They even opened fire on Dara. The villagers turned to the elderly woman for answers. She explained that the barrier had been broken, though she did not know how. However, she was certain that the attackers had come for Yuru. She ordered the others to protect Yuru and bring him to her. Meanwhile, Denji was overwhelmed by the sight of so many dead bodies. Yuru told him to stay with him, but they soon encountered two soldiers who recognized Yuru. Yuru injured them with his arrows, while one soldier fired at Denji, though he narrowly avoided being hit. Neither of them understood the weapons being used. They knocked the soldiers away and headed toward the elderly woman. Yuru, seeing the helicopters, realized these were not dragons and understood that he could not defeat them. They reached the statues of the guardians, where Yuru instructed Denji to remove some stones. This revealed a secret passage known only to Yuru, and they began moving through it. Meanwhile, a girl named Gabby descended from one of the helicopters. When she gestured toward a man as if asking for food, his body was suddenly sliced in half. She began attacking the villagers, cutting them down one by one. Eventually, she spared only a single child, saying she did not harm children. She then contacted the ground squad, claiming she had cleared the outer and middle areas, but there was no response, as Dara had already eliminated them. Dara contacted a girl named Hannah, informing her that the barrier had been broken and and that they would need to regroup elsewhere. He suspected that all of this was happening because Asha had arrived. Elsewhere, another girl captured the elderly woman and attacked Asha, seemingly killing her. Yuru arrived through the secret passage and called out to Asha. However, the girl claimed that she herself was the real Asha and that she had come to take him while killing everyone else. Yuru refused to believe her and attacked with his arrows, but she countered with a powerful explosion. Meanwhile, Dara analyzed the situation, noting that the attackers were pretending to be mountain rescuers and that their control over escape routes made escape difficult. Gabby attacked Dara using her demon, but he dodged and fired bullets at her. Her demon protected her, and she questioned him about the ground squad. In response, Dara threw a bomb at her. At the same time, the fake Asha apologized, saying she had only intended to break the barrier but could not yet control her powers. Her blood transformed into a monstrous entity that captured Asha. The elderly woman urged Dara to take Yuru and flee to the outside world so that no one could find him. Dara escaped with Yuru. They returned to the guardian statues, and Yuru remained confused about everything. Dara told him to descend the mountain, but a sniper began attacking them from above. Dara ran out of bullets and could do nothing. He warned that if the girl with sharp teeth returned, they would be trapped. Yuru questioned whether Asha was truly dead, recalling that she had moved earlier. Dara told him there was no time to explain and instructed him to use right and left, the divine guardians. He directed Yuru to place an item into a hole between the statues. Though confused, Yuru complied. The hole was filled with debris, but he cleared it as instructed. Meanwhile, the snipers could not shoot Yuru because their orders were to capture him alive. Once Yuru placed the item inside, Dara struck it, causing Yuru's blood to fall onto it. As an enemy attacked Dara, the guardian statues began to glow. A powerful energy burst forth, destroying both helicopters. Yuru was left stunned, while Gabby was frustrated, realizing she would now have to descend the mountain on foot. She wondered whose demon had destroyed the helicopters and hoped it was someone weak. At that moment, the guardians revealed themselves, stating that their master was a child, but regardless of age, they must obey his every command. They explained that these beings were known by many names: demons, monsters, or spirits, but humans referred to them as Daemons. They declared that these were now Yuru's diamonds. Yuru was completely stunned upon seeing right and left appear before him. He could not believe that the village guardians had manifested in front of him. The two informed him that they had been watching him for a long time and would now assist him as his demons. Right questioned Left, wondering if Yuru was truly their master, as he seemed far too shocked. Left explained that Yuru was still struggling to understand everything happening around him. Dara then introduced himself, though Right and Left already seemed aware of him. Curious, Right asked them what the bird-like objects were, explaining that they had destroyed them because they posed a threat to their master. Dara clarified that those were vehicles from the modern world, but added that there was no time for detailed explanations. He warned that two dangerous individuals were pursuing them and requested their help in getting down the mountain quickly, promising to explain everything afterward. Right responded that they could only take orders from their master, and since the title belonged to Yuru, they would obey only him. Dara acknowledged this but pointed out that Yuru was still too confused to give proper commands. At that moment, Gabby arrived and questioned whose demons they were. Yuru was shocked upon seeing her demon and referred to it as a monster. Dara, however, was surprised that Gabby had survived the grenade explosion. Gabby explained that her demons could withstand such blasts and insisted it was not a monster. She then observed that Yuru looked about 16 years old. Yuru corrected her, saying he was 17, though she clarified that in their world, he would still be considered 16. Upon hearing this, she realized that Asha's brother was truly alive. The mention of Asha brought back painful memories for Yuru, of the villagers' deaths and Asha's role in the massacre. Gabby asked Yuru to come with her, but he instead questioned whether she had killed all the villagers. She admitted that she had. At that point, Right reminded Yuru that he could command them, and they would use their full power to carry out his orders. However, Yuru refused to treat them as subordinates. He said that since they were the guardians of the village, he could not command them. Instead, he made two requests. First, he asked them to check if any villagers had survived and, if so, to take them to safety. Second, he declared that he would personally deal with Gabby, asking them not to interfere with her. Right was pleased with this and gladly accepted. Elsewhere, Asha threw the elderly woman aside, causing the monstrous entity that had been restraining her to release its grip in order to save the old woman. Asha warned the elderly woman not to mistake her actions for mercy, stating that she would eventually have to pay for her past mistakes. As Asha left, she passed by Denji and his mother but ignored them. Meanwhile, Right advanced toward Gabby, prompting her demon to step in for protection. However, Right leaped away, focusing instead on rescuing surviving villagers. Before leaving, he warned Gabby to be cautious of Left, describing her as extremely dangerous when angry. Soon after, Left attacked, kicking Gabby's demon away with immense. Seizing the opportunity, Yuri shot an arrow into Gabby's leg to prevent her escape and followed up with another attack. However, her demon quickly carried her away, forcing Yuri to chase chase after them, with Left and Dara following close behind. At the same time, Right found a surviving girl and carried her to safety. Since ordinary humans could not see demons, the girl was unable to perceive him. Right revealed himself using his powers and tried to calm her, but she fainted from fear. Right managed to rescue several children, though all of them lost consciousness upon seeing him. He also realized that the attackers had targeted only the adults. Suddenly, Asha appeared and immediately attacked Right. He blocked her attack with a shout, causing an explosion. He scolded her for attacking without warning and remarked on how dangerous her power was. Although he admitted he would have enjoyed fighting her, he stated that his master had ordered him to prioritize rescuing survivors. Asha then withdrew, but Right noticed something familiar about her scent. Meanwhile, Gabby and her demon blocked off a path, preventing anyone from entering. Left used all her strength to force the demon's jaws open, astonishing Gabby with her power. Once the path was cleared, Yuru shot an arrow into Gabby's shoulder. However, Asha suddenly arrived and destroyed the area, burying both demons under rubble. She then approached Gabby, while Yuru aimed his arrow at them, demanding to know who she truly was. Asha claimed again that she was his younger sister. Yuru refused to believe her, arguing that his sister could never have grown so tall. She replied that her growth was due to better nutrition outside the village, and remarked that life had been harsh for her. Right then intervened, confirming that Asha was telling the truth, as her blood carried the same scent as Yuru's. This revelation shocked him deeply. Confused, Yuru asked who the girl living with them had been. Asha explained that she was a fake. 10 years earlier, their parents had fled the village, taking the real Asha with them. Fearing that Yuru might also leave, the villagers had created a replacement Asha to keep him there, knowing he would never abandon his sister. Hearing this, Yuru's hands began to tremble. Dara stepped in to calm him, and told Asha to step back if she had finished speaking with her brother. Yuru initially resisted, but Dara reminded him that their enemies were powerful and still pursuing them. Prolonging the situation would only endanger any remaining villagers. Yuru finally agreed and struck a deal. If Asha and her group left the village, he would spare Gabby. Asha accepted, and Yuru departed with his companions. Later, Gabby questioned Asha about why they had not captured Yuru. Asha replied that treating her injuries was more important, and that their mission was already successful since they had confirmed Yuru was alive. Gabby praised Yuru's archery skills, noting how effectively he had disabled her. Hearing this, Asha became emotional, relieved and happy that her brother was alive. Meanwhile, the elderly woman reactivated the village barrier. Gabby urged Asha to leave quickly, warning that they would be trapped inside if they stayed. Elsewhere, a group of hikers on the mountain discussed the strange helicopter sounds they had heard earlier. They speculated about rescue operations and spoke of local legends about a lost village where people who ventured too far would mysteriously disappear. Dara and Yuru passed by them unnoticed. Dara pointed out that the village was no longer visible, meaning the barrier had been restored. When Yuru asked if they could ever return, Dara replied that while it was not impossible, it would be dangerous since their enemies now knew the village's location. He advised that they blend into the outside world instead. At the base of the mountain, they met Hannah, Dara's companion. She was surprised to see demons with him, as he had only mentioned bringing a human. It was revealed that Hannah, like Dara, was a seer. Dara apologized and explained that Yuru's life was in danger. Hannah quickly realized that Yuru was one of the twins. Meanwhile, Right and Left were confused by the concept of a car. Hannah introduced herself and explained that she and Dara worked as demons' retainers. Dara then asked Right and Left if they sensed any other demons nearby, but they did not. He urged everyone to move to a crowded place quickly and told Yuru to get into the vehicle. Confused, Yuru asked what it was. Dara explained that it was called an automobile, used for travel and made of metal. Frustrated, Hannah simplified it by comparing it to a fast-running horse, which helped everyone understand. Meanwhile, Asha and Gabby regrouped with their allies. They discussed the unexpected interference of other demons and assessed their injuries. Gabby admitted that Yuru had skillfully targeted her mobility and dominant arm, praising his abilities as a hunter. As rain began to fall, a few surviving soldiers in the village struggled to escape but remained trapped due to the barrier. At the same time, Yuru and his group approached the city. The scene shifts to Yuru and the others stopping at a resting station, where Hannah brought him food and clothes. Yuru was surprised upon seeing the clothes, as he had never encountered anything like them in his village. Dara also brought him slippers and had changed his appearance to avoid being recognized. When Yuru saw the food, he was even more astonished. Compared to the simple meals in his village, this seemed like luxury. He did not even know how to open the food packet, so Hannah opened it for him. Yuru liked the food so much that he wondered if it had been given by the gods. Seeing his excitement, Dara offered him more. Hannah jokingly called Dara Yuru's grandmother, which reminded Yuru of Asha. He quietly wished that Asha could have tasted the food as well. Meanwhile, Right asked Dara about the place. Dara explained that it was a location meant for eating and resting. Right and Left listened with great excitement, as they had not seen anything beyond the village for 400 years. Dara invited them inside, but they refused, saying they needed needed to stay near Yuru to protect him. So Dara and Hannah went inside to eat. Outside, Right asked Hannah about the horses they had used to arrive, wondering whether they needed food. Hannah explained that she had already fed them. Inside, Hannah questioned Dara about what he had told Yuru. Dara admitted that he had only told Yuru that the girl in the village was not his real sister. He avoided explaining further because Yuru was not ready to handle the truth. Hannah then asked what Dara planned to do with Yuru. Dara replied that he could not return home since his identity had been exposed, meaning he was now effectively homeless. Hannah pointed out how difficult his situation was, being homeless while also taking care of someone else's child. Dara responded that she was involved as well, since she was a retainer of the village and would have to help him. When Hannah asked what they should do, Dara jokingly suggested that they get married. This angered Hannah, and she threatened him in frustration. Dara clarified that he did not mean a real marriage, but rather a cover story. He explained that they needed to blend into society to avoid suspicion. Living in a populated city would require them to appear as a family, especially since landlords often rented only to families. He proposed pretending that Yuru was his child from a previous marriage and that Hannah was his current wife. Hannah argued that they could simply act as roommates or siblings, but Dara insisted that his plan would attract less attention. She dismissed the idea, saying her heart belonged to someone else, and called his plan terrible. Meanwhile, Right and Left examined the car, trying to figure out where the horses. Yuru returned and apologized for eating all the food, but they told him they did not need to eat. He then asked what he should call them. They replied that he was their master and could call them anything, but Yuru chose to keep their names as Right and Left. He then asked what they knew about him and his sister. They admitted they knew very little, as they had remained at the village gate for 400 years and had never seen much of what happened inside. However, they recalled hearing villagers talk about the twins. They remembered seeing Yuru as a child when his father took him hunting, but they had never seen his sister and assumed she had died at birth. 10 years earlier, they had seen Yuru's parents fleeing at night with a young girl who carried the same scent as Yuru. That girl, now grown, had attacked the village. Yuru realized that his parents had not abandoned both children, only him. Determined, he declared that he would find the real Asha and then locate his parents to understand the truth. Soon, Dara and Hannah returned. Yuru asked why Hannah seemed upset. She explained that since they were now responsible for protecting him, any trouble he faced would also be their responsibility. Dara then explained that they would be traveling for a while. He told Yuru to use the bathroom, but Yuru did not understand and had instead gone into the forest earlier. Hannah realized that they would have to teach him everything, including basic behavior like not sitting on top of the car. When Yuru asked why Right and Left could sit on the car, Hannah explained that most normal humans could not see demons. Only those who possessed their own demons could see others. Left added that they could reveal themselves if they wished, though some animals could sense them instinctively, as shown when a puppy began barking at them. As they continued, Yuru asked whether the Kagomori clan also had demons. Dara confirmed that some of them did. He explained that the Kagomori clan had once been connected to the village but had split due to ideological differences. He also mentioned rumors that one of the twins had joined the Kagomori clan, and recent events confirmed those rumors. Meanwhile, in a separate scene, a girl was fleeing from a stalker and entered an elevator, trying to escape. The stalker followed her inside, threatening her. Suddenly, the girl transformed into a demon, revealing that she was actually Jin's demon in disguise, sent to eliminate the stalker on a client's request. Jin later confirmed to the real girl that her stalker had been dealt with. Another girl arrived and was frightened upon seeing the demon. Jin realized she could see demons and warned her to keep it a secret. Elsewhere, Dara explained to Yuru that he himself did not know much about the deeper truths, as his family had always lived outside the village and served as retainers for generations. His only orders had been to keep outsiders away and ensure the twins did not fall into enemy hands. He revealed his real name as Ryu Tadera but told Yuru he could continue calling him Dara. Yuru then asked why they were considered special. Dara explained that when twins are born during the balance of day and night, they gain the power to divide the world. This had happened once before, 400 years ago, leading to wars that split nations into East, West, and later North, South divisions. It was believed that those who controlled demons had influenced these events. Yuru wondered if that meant they had the power to destroy the world. Dara clarified that it depended on how they used their power. Although Yuru felt like an ordinary boy with no abilities, Dara told him he still had the right to claim that power. He suspected that Asha had already awakened hers. Right confirmed that Asha possessed the power of Break, which could destroy anything, even the strongest barriers. The opposing power, Seal, could lock or restrain anything completely. If both powers were to clash, it could result in catastrophic destruction. When Hannah asked whether anyone had ever possessed both powers at once, Right and Left admitted that it had never happened before. Yuru also realized that he had known nothing about the village barrier or its secrets. Dara explained that his ancestors had taught him how to pass through it. He also revealed that Yuru's mother had been an outsider who had accidentally entered the village. This reminded Yuru of something his mother had once said, that she came from another place where his name meant night, and she had promised to take them there someday. The next day, Yuru learned how to use a bathroom and went for a walk in a park. He, along with right and left, was amazed by everything around them: lights, buildings, and modern life. Right and left referred to buildings as castles, while Yuru explained that they were homes where many people lived. When left called it a capital, Yuru corrected her, saying the capital was Tokyo and that they were currently in Gunma, a place with over 10 million people. Overwhelmed, right and left struggled to comprehend it all. Left then asked Yuru if he truly wanted to find his sister. Yuru replied that although Dara and Hana were kind, they were still connected to the village that had deceived him. He could not fully trust them, or the girl claiming to be Asha. He concluded that he needed to uncover the truth. Since his parents had fled with a child, he believed it must have been an important decision. Therefore, he resolved to find Asha, force her to lead him to their parents, and learn the truth. Right and left agreed to help him. Soon after, Hana informed Dara that they had found a place to stay. Dara shared the news with Yuru and the others. When Yuru asked about the mobile phone, Dara struggled to explain it and ended up describing it as a tool similar to sending smoke signals. And with that, the episode came to an end.